It's 92.3 WIL. Marty hanging out with Zach John King. Thanks for taking time hanging out with us. You got a big show tonight with Chase Matthew at the Factory.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Have you played with Chase before?
I haven't. First time. We played last night in Iowa, and then this will be our second show.
That's awesome.
Having a blast. Yeah.
Did you guys meet prior to this?
Yeah, we met a couple times. I think we met at CMA Fest the first time, and then I saw him at the awards, and then the team is great, so they always introduce themselves before they ask me. So I met his management and him well before he asked me.
So you got like mediators in between.
Yeah, and it's just like building relationships, which is they do really well.
That's
the whole
awesome.
Camp does really well.
Well, you got your first song to country radio.
Yeah,
we get to drink. And how does that feel? Like that you're like finally I did it.
It's kind of surreal. I think the funny thing is like to work it. You know, I'm way busier than I was, so I don't know if I've had the downtime to think about the fact that it is on the radio, but I have. The cool thing is my buddies back home have been texting me every time it's on my local stations. So like my buddy George back in Fayetteville texted me yesterday. He works at a tire shop, and he was like 101.5 was playing it, and that means the world.
And I've seen you make some posts about it, like they're playing my song.
Oh, it's crazy because that's the stations I grew up listening to as a kid, and so to have my song out there, and really country radio is the dream of any artist, is to have a number one. So it's just been cool.
Have you heard it yet on the radio?
I have. I heard it in an Uber, and I was Ubering back from downtown Nashville, and no joke, it like started playing, and I told the Uber driver, and he wasn't sure what to do. I was like, "That's me," and he was like, "Who's you?" He didn't know, and I was like, "On the radio singing," and so he like kind of turned it up, but not all the way, and he didn't really care. So we just sat there, and I was like half listening and filming, and it was silent. But yeah, I did catch it.
What did he say after he heard the whole song?
He said, "Man, that's pretty cool." And he was like, "What's your name?" And I told him my name, and but that was a funny moment because it was totally spontaneous. Like I was just chilling in the Uber, and then I heard it, and
it comes on, and
yeah,
here you are.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Let's talk about your name, Zach John King. That's a long name.
It is a long name.
Did you play baseball?
I did.
Did it fit on your jersey?
No, I was King on the back. It's funny because there's like, I'm sure I always get the comments like there's too many Zachs in country music. There's really only 3 or 4, and there's a lot more other names out there.
Right.
But my thing was there's a dilemma. There's a John King that makes country music, been around for a little while, and then there's a Zach King spelled exactly like my name that's a really famous illusionist, like a magician on Instagram. And so when I was picking like what to do, if you Google Zach King, it's going to show the magician. And if you Google John King, which is my middle name, it's going to show the other country dude. So I was like, well, let me make it my full name. So it's my full legal name.
That's amazing. It'd be funny, though, if you were Zach King and people were coming to a show thinking it's a magic show and then it's country music.
Bro, the early days, I had like Zach King, the illusionist fan accounts following me, thinking I was the guy. And then they were like, nah, that ain't the guy that does the magic.
Do you know
tricks.
any magic?
No. No chance. No.
So we're talking about odd jobs that you did before this career. What were some of the odd ones that you had to do to support yourself growing up to be a country artist?
Oh man, I mean, painted pool houses on a farm one summer. Worked at this warehouse back in Fayetteville. We were reselling. We were at this warehouse reselling books. So we'd take these bins of used books and we'd pull them out of the bin. We'd dust them off, and then we would find the ISBN number and resell them on Amazon. So that's all I did one day. Let's see, what else? I've dug post holes. I have worked restaurant jobs. I've played music at not a bowling alley, a curling bar. And for Americans, I don't think they know what curling is. So it was always empty. But there was one.
And that was in Fayetteville?
It was in Nashville.
Oh, it was in Nashville.
I moved and I got fired from my restaurant job. And I was like, I got to make money. And there was an opening to make music for this bar. And I was like, oh, sick. And I get there, and it's just ice curling. And no one's there because we don't know how to do it. So I played to like an empty room most nights. So I've done it all.
So you had to dress warm for that one?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. It was chilly in there. Yeah.
And then what's it like getting signed?
Oh, it felt crazy. I mean, I think you dream about it, and then it happens, and it's almost like I hear it put like it's a starting line. So instead of it being this big thing, it's a huge deal. I'm very grateful for it, but it was this moment where I was like, oh, now I actually have to like do it, right? Like I kind of equate it to like you can fail once you get there. Like meaning the risk, there's really no risk if you're not signed or nobody knows who you are, because you can fail and nobody sees it, and if it doesn't work, nobody knows it didn't work. But once you're like in the label system, or you've got any moment or any momentum or eyes are on you, it's like if it goes south, it's your name out there.
That's right.
So it's a little nerve wracking, but it feels really fun to. I do well under pressure, and I love like high stakes stuff. So it felt like a little bit of a starting line.
Who was the first person you called?
Oh, my folks. Yeah, my mom and dad. I remember I had the contract stuff takes forever, but I remember the night we had. It was really anticlimactic. There was an E sign. So there's two different. If for those that don't know how it works,
it wasn't at a big table.
No, there's a short form contract that means a lot, and there's a long form contract that means a lot, but just to the lawyers. The short form contract is what really mattered for me. And yeah, I signed it. I e-signed it on my couch at like 8:00 on a Tuesday, and then the long form contract takes a lot longer, and then you sit down at the table, and it's a very symbolic like signature.
Yeah.
But I called my folks and said, I drug my finger across and signed it. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, your family's gonna be really proud. I mean, this is a lifelong dream, I'm guessing.
Oh, I mean, from day one, I think if you start music, you want a record deal, and you want to be able to do it as a full-time job.
Was there something else you're like, if this doesn't work, this is plan B? You didn't have
I had gotten into other careers.
Right.
That I enjoyed. It was just always one of those things where like even at the best moments of those careers, I was daydreaming about doing music. And so no, there really wasn't. I think after I moved to town, I got the restaurant gig, I got fired. Then there was no net, like safety net underneath. It was like, all right, you don't want to work on Broadway the rest of your life waiting tables. So you just kind of have to go for it. So for me, it was either going to be just as a songwriter or doing the artistry thing. And so luckily that started to work.
Because last year was like your debut to us because we were all in Key West together.
Yeah.
And what was that like? You're here in Key West, beautiful, obviously, and you're like, all right, I got to play. It's 88 degrees outside or outside. What was that feeling like?
It was a kind of a full circle moment because 2 years prior, when I had moved to Nashville, the first month I was in Nashville, I was hearing about the Key West Songwriters Festival. And at the time, I just wanted to write. So I was like trying to connect with any writers I could, and I kept hearing, you got to go, you got to go. I didn't know that you get asked to go because you play showcases and they pay for it. So I bought my own plane ticket. I used like my month's savings to buy a plane ticket.
Yeah, because it's not cheap to get down there.
No, not at all. And then I found my buddy who offered me, he had a king bed in the hotel, and he was like, bro, we can split the bed, put a pillow down the middle. So I was there 2 years prior I didn't know anybody. I wasn't even playing down there. I was just trying to network. So to come back and be able to like meet everybody and to play songs and hear people singing my songs, like it was a full circle for sure.
And that afternoon was all about you. It was great.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all being there. It was a blast.
It was a lot of fun.
That was such a fun trip.
I totally recommend anyone who's never been to Key West go during that week.
Yes.
It's a blast. It's unbelievable.
It really is.
Yeah. Well, Zach John King, thank you so much for taking time. We'll see you tonight at the Factory with Chase Matthew.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, dude.